Hello my friends, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another eyeshadow palette video. I told you I was gonna do this one in my last colorful shadow video, and today's gonna be my top 5 eyeshadow palettes that are bronzy and glowy. So for me, color and pops of color speak everything summer, but also when you've got a good tan going on and you've got like this glowy, bronzy eye, I don't know, something about that is almost even more appealing than a colorful eyeshadow. So it just adds to the glow, to the beach look. I don't know. That's just my opinion anyways. So if you're interested in seeing what my top 5 palettes are for a bronzy, glowy eyeshadow look, then just keep on watching. So I'm gonna start off with the 2 that I used on my eyes today. And they are, let me tell you, they are some good ones. So let's go ahead and start with, you already see this coming. I'm just gonna tell you, you're not gonna be surprised. The Natasha Denona bronze palette, duh. This particular palette is so good for a summer look that makes you look like you just got back from the beach. This particular palette is everything and more for someone like me who's not a neutral lover type of girl. This palette just speaks on so many levels, and I just have to tell you, that the metallics in here, the standout shades, I always refer to anything outside of a matte, most anything outside of a matte, metallic, foiled, let's see, even satins. Satins can pack a punch sometimes too. But this particular palette is absolutely amazing for packing a punch in a very bronzy, glowy type of way. It is just, there are no duds in this palette, I just have to say. Sometimes with a Natasha Denona palette, there's 1 or 2 that I'm like, not crazy about it because it's a topper or this or that. No, this particular palette is just everything and more. These shades are absolutely, like I said, just beautiful. They pack so much of a punch, and they really stand out in just a very glowy, shiny type of way. And then, of course, I gotta talk about the mattes, even though I prefer standout shades over mattes. But the mattes in this palette are also just absolutely lovely. I am a fan of Natasha Denona matte shades, and this particular palette is absolutely no different. So if you're looking for a palette that's going to give you that just bronzy look, that sultry look. I mean, you don't even have to go sultry. You can go super daytime, super, I just got back from the pool or from the beach and look how bronzy, glowy I look. And then this palette is right up your alley. I also love that it's the $65 price point, which is awesome because this palette speaks to a lot of people. It makes it slightly more attainable than her, one that's double the price practically. Okay, the other palette that's on my eyes, and let me take a step back. In my colorful palette video, all 5 palettes are available to you in case you are interested in them. Out of these, 4 out of the 5 are available. There's one that I had to include. It is one of my tried and true bronze eyeshadow palettes. You could get your hands on it if you wanted to, but anyways, just full disclosure. But anyways, Hangin in Hawaii with BH Cosmetics, or by BH Cosmetics. This one is also still available on the Ulta site. I want to say it's about $14 as per usual. I will link everything down below. This palette this is what really drew me back into BH Cosmetics. So to look at it, it does look just, I don't know if beachy is what comes to my mind when I first see this, but maybe a little bit like sand. It is on the lighter side. It doesn't, I don't know, something about it doesn't scream summer to me until I start using it, or until I started using it for the first time and I was like, oh, I am absolutely floored. So primarily the metallics in this palette are going to be some of the glowiest eyeshadows you have ever used in your life. I love these so much, and it's rare that I use an eyeshadow as a highlighter. These I will use as a highlighter, and they are absolutely mind-blowing, at least to me. These stand on their own as being, to me, some of the best, even superior to a high-end brand. For the price point, it can't be beat. But then when you start mixing in like coral shades and then the pink, then you really start getting the summer vibe. And then I understood why. So this for me has been a summer staple since the year I bought it, which I think has been 2 or 3 years at this point. So for me, it is a grab every single summer. And you can see why. It's absolutely stunning. And again, for the price point, It cannot be beat. I'm going to show you 3 of the metallics. Oh my gosh, this is just literally mind-blowing. I would forego so many high-end eyeshadow palettes for this one. This one is such a gem, and if you have not given it time of day quite yet, then I'm going to say hop on over to your local Ulta and check it out, because you can use a coupon on it and get it for like just right over $10. And I don't know. It just, to say it's worth it is an absolute understatement. And this is one of my top summer palettes every single year. So I highly recommend this one to you. And if you're in the market for a good summer palette that's not going to break the bank, then this one is right up your alley. So let's move into the palette that's no longer available at Sephora. I looked it up. It's at a few sites, but I don't know how legit those sites are. So always be careful. At times, if I really, really want a palette, I will go like the eBay route or the Poshmark route if they are new and they are reputable. That's also key. So this particular one is the Huda Topaz Obsessions. Now, these particular Obsessions palettes are no longer available, like the Ruby, the Emerald, and so hence why you can't find it at Sephora anymore. But these Obsessions palettes, I feel like, are very hit or miss with people. When she was releasing these monochromatic ones, I find that I really liked them. Honestly, I love her Obsessions palettes. There's some that these days I don't buy anymore just because there's so much repetition, not even just amongst the brand, but amongst other brands too. But when there are Obsessions palettes that speak to me, I snatch them right up because they are really, really awesome. And then the size and the price point, it just makes it a nice way even to travel with. But this particular palette just is kind of on the lines of the last 2 in that these are very summery, very glowy, but it's also a palette that can kind of transition you into fall, obviously because it's got a little bit of that orange tone, a little bit of that yellow tone. And so for me, it's the metallics that really, really stand out in this palette that will add to that summer bronzy glow for the eyeshadow look that you're looking for. So they're a little bit deeper than the ones in the BH Cosmetics palette, but that is what makes it kind of nice as far as like having variety, or for the person that doesn't want something so light, that wants something a little bit deeper, then this is perfect. So these go on so nicely. I am such a fan of the metallic shades from the Obsessions palettes. I feel more than anything the mattes can be kind of hit or miss, but even then I tend to like them very much. So let me give you a couple of the mattes. These particular mattes are very soft, very smooth, and that's also not always typical of the Obsessions palettes, but very, very beautiful for summer, just that gold bronzy glow to the eye. But again, a palette that can then transition you into fall. It kind of does double duty. So this one is always a summer staple as well. So I couldn't not bring it out and show it in this video, even though it's not available anymore. But if you want to get your hands on it, I definitely think you wouldn't be disappointed. This one's a good one. Okay, last 2. So this particular palette, yes, it's more pricey, and I'm sorry, and you may even find it surprising as being in this video, but this particular one is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in, let's see, Star Aura, I think is what it is. Yeah, it's Star Aura. Now, the reason I had chosen this palette is because, first off, there are a couple of shades that absolutely scream summer to me. You might be looking at this and being like, I don't see anything summer in there. So let me show you. There's actually 3, honestly. There's one kind of pinky one that I wouldn't consider summer, but this particular palette has these 3 shades, and these go on. If you remember when I first bought this palette, how just absolutely stunned I was at how beautiful they are. They are so classy. They are so pretty. And again, if you've watched my colorful video, then I told you at that point, not everybody wants harsh and like popping on the eye. Some people want just a little bit more toned down, but still summery, beautiful, and glowy. And this particular one delivers that. So it's not going to be as harsh of a metallic, I guess I should say, than like the BH Cosmetics or the Huda, but it is glowy in its own right, and it's so beautiful. It's a very delicate way of being glowy, if we can put it that way. So this particular one is I definitely say for the person who wants a little bit more minimal, who's a little bit more minimalistic, which, you know, there's a lot of people that prefer that route, or who prefer that route. And so this one delivers. It's absolutely stunning, and it's perfect for those one and done. I still look a little bit glowy because it adds that glow to my eye. The finish on these is just absolutely stunning. So this particular one is a winner in my book and is a top summer palette in this shade, because there's a couple others that I wouldn't consider to be summer. In this Star Aura type of color story, I think it is absolutely perfect for summer and for that just minimalistic glow. Last but certainly not least, now this one it's a nude palette, but it's got a lot of pinky mauves. And so, but I'm going to tell you that I chose it for the metallics, for the glowy metallics. And this is the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. This one is still available as well. What I will say, just total side note, is it's weird because, you know, it's meant to bend all the way back, but mine is actually tearing right here. So I don't know, that's just weird to me. I've never had a palette do that before. But anyways, so this particular palette is beautiful for a summer glowy type of look because of the metallics that are in this palette. In addition, you have like a champagne gold type palette, you have, or type shade, you have a copper bronzy type of shade, you've got like more of a the name is absolutely just left my mind. Anyways, so you've got this shade right here, which is a little deeper than a champagne, just absolutely beautiful. And then you've got a couple of pinks. But let me give you these swatches because I love this palette. I did not think at the time that I was going to love this palette as much as I do. Do you see how glowy those are? And that will give you the perfect, those tones especially, will give you, again, that perfect glowy look, especially if you've got a tan going on and you put those on the eye, those just absolutely pop. They glisten. They look literally like you came back from the beach. And I love that they make your tan pop even more. So let me give you a couple of the mattes. The mattes in this palette are softer probably than anything I have ever felt in my life. They are so satiny, so silky. I don't know what's in them, but they are absolutely beautiful. So again, these are shades that pair well with this and you can make a good summer look out of them. Now, what I will tell you is I don't typically use the mattes in this palette for summer looks because I find that the mauvey shades, which is, I feel like primarily what is in here, even though again, it's a nude palette, but on me, it pulls mauvey. For me, it looks mauvey. See, like this one's the only one that for me looks a little bit less, it's more nude. And then of course you have a brown, but I forego the mattes in this palette because again, they don't scream summer. I supplement from a different palette, but then I go in with one of these metallics because, hello, they are absolutely stunning. And then I complete the look like that. So definitely on my list for a top summer palette. I'm not one that minds mixing and matching. You may be one that minds. And so if that's the case, one of the other palettes would be a little bit more right for you, but absolutely stunning. And for glowy eyes, oof, I can't even. Alrighty, my friends. Well, thank you again for stopping by. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope you found something in this video helpful. Maybe it was just fun to sit down and chat makeup, for which I appreciate that you did. I love spending time with you guys and just talking about all of the different products out there for the different seasons. Alrighty, before I let you go, I want to give you a very quick verse of the day to motivate you, encourage you, and tell you that Jesus loves you. And today's comes from Psalm 103:17, and it says, "From everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear him, and his righteousness with their children's children." Okay, my friends, well, I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is my prayer that if you don't already know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, that he would make himself so real to you, that you would feel a knock on your heart, a calling on your heart, that there would be no doubt in your mind that it is him who is speaking to you. Thanks again for stopping by. I will see you in the next video, my friends. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye.